Welcome to Quack&Co, the board game channel where every video is 10 minutes or less guaranteed, and today is Monday Musings, where we have a conversation about the industry, things that are on my mind, stuff that I've experienced, observed, and or stuff that I want to have a conversation with you, the community, about. And today, I just got finished unboxing the Crimson Scales Gloomhaven expansion, the most ambitious, most substantial, most insane fan-made expansion I've ever seen. It's not just that, it's this giant box as well, along with art and miniatures coming directly from the original creator, the original artist from Gloomhaven. It's mind-blowing. And so the conversation that I want to have, what I want to explore with you all is, what does it take? What inspires someone to create a board game? To tell a story, to adventure in? Is it something like this, where you sit down and you become so absorbed in the community, into the gameplay, into the mechanics, and you get to the end of what you've experienced, and you say to yourself, like, I just need more. I need more of this content. And so you start crafting out. You join communities, you start playtesting, you start creating your own content and lore. I know in the Kingdom Death community, that's certainly the case. I wanted to tell stories in that community, and I started making this video because I became obsessed with, or started making the content here on this channel in Quackalope, because I became obsessed with board games and couldn't find enough of what I wanted to watch. And so, is that the case? For those of you that have gone into board game design or are thinking about going into board game design sometime down the line, is it a unrivaled obsession and passion for a project that you have to see brought into fruition? Does it start here with fan-made expansions for your favorite games, or is it something different? Is it a story you want to tell, or a mechanic you want to explore, or a desire to create in and of itself? It could be any random assortment of things. You just happen to like board games. If you were an artist or a writer or a painter or a builder, you would be creating no matter what. I love the idea of bringing something to life, of having something that you can physically hold and touch and set down on the table. And I think a lot of the first-time publishers we work with express just that. The reality is there's not a lot of money in the board game industry for brand new indie publishers. There's a lot of opportunities to lose money, from marketing costs to prototyping, playtesting, development, to manufacturing costs and shipping costs. It became a nightmare over the last few years. But there's not a lot of money to be made, at least for the publisher. And so, for the first-time publishers that I've collaborated with, I've highlighted here on this channel, over on Quackalope, over and over and over again, I've seen them express the same heart, the same desire. That they've made something, that they took something they were a fan of and they created it. They wanted to tell a story. They wanted to make something that their family could gather around the table and enjoy. And in that process, it just continued to grow. It expanded beyond what they ever thought could or would be possible. I mean, in the case here, the people who've worked on Crimson Scales have gone on to make expansions for Crimson Scales, to create miniatures, to learn their own graphic design and 3D modeling, like skill sets, enhanced it so that they could actually produce and print this. They went through the logistics process of finding the manufacturer, getting the cards, getting everything shipped over, taking pre-orders, sending everything out. And now they're running a company, starting to make their own board game outside of the Gloomhaven universe entirely. And it just makes me think, like, is that the process? Is that the pathway we take to create something? Like I was saying, those first-time publishers, time and time again, the expression that they've went back to is that they just want to see it there. Making money would be nice, having a business would be nice, but more than anything, they want to see the game they made on the table with a group of people laughing and having fun and playing. And so there's the coolest thing there. Like, this dream that people have is just to bring joy to other people's lives, to share a little bit of the heart and the passion that they've had, the reward that they've had by gathering around the table with friends and family and playing. And they want to see that fulfilled for others through something they told, through a story and a narrative they imparted. And in a weird way, every publisher, every designer of every board game you ever play is kind of sitting there with you at the table. they're experiencing the game as well. When you share photos or make videos or talk about it and review it, well, if you leave a negative review, they feel that all the more. But a positive review, I'm sure for those indie publishers, makes their day, blows their mind, like seeing a family play something that they made. And yeah, it's nice to make a business. It's nice to make a profit. It's nice to work from home. But time and time and time again, the people that make stuff like this, I've seen them express that all they needed to do, all they could do was create. And it just happened to grow a little bit bigger than they'd originally anticipated. Let me know your thoughts. Are you someone who's become so absorbed in a board game that you've made something, whether it was prototyping with pen and paper or just in your mind, or using the components already in front of you to just create a bigger, more ambitious, more crazy scenario? Are you that type of person that has to, when you become absorbed in something, make it your own and tell your own story? And if you're not, if you're a publisher, a designer, a producer, I'd love to hear about how you got started in this industry. What led you down this pathway? A happenstance meeting, a late night game night, a game that just did something you'd never seen before. Or did something so bad you thought to yourself, well, if that's a successful game, I'll show them how to really make one. And for those of you that are like me that haven't got into the actual design part of board games, do you want to? Are you interested in it? I would love to see something like this created by me sitting in a table in front of people playing it. I'm just not entirely sure that I have the stamina to do it. But who knows? Maybe one day down the road. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, less time watching means more time playing, and we'll see you tomorrow here on Quack&Co.